Old man Woody likes the crooked cock.
Enjoy this time. Like, this is about as good as it's going to get for you. Like, 16, like, you got your car, you get a girl.
You're
who will
wrong
fuck you.
on that. I would say there's a lot of... what's an average age to lose your virginity, you think?
14.
Wow. I'm going to just Google it. I'm sure I should ask Siri. But
To
anyway.
United States.
United States average age to lose virginity. Even autofills. 17.1.
Wow, that's
What?
fucking high.
That can't be right.
According to the United Center for Disease Control and Prevention, it is.
Although, how would they know? Like how many of these
there's some
12-year-olds?
fibbers.
How many 12-year-olds are like, yeah, I'm fucking? Like, I feel like they're hard stats to get, but like, I don't know. I feel like there were lots of kids having. There were kids having sex in like the 6th grade. There was a chick in my 5th grade class with like tits. Like, kids start early now.
6th grade or 5th grade? Those kids are like 11.
Yeah, 5th grade. She had larger
Here's-
boobs than most women.
Teen
That can
Health
happen, but That
FX.
doesn't mean that
This is
it's going down.
a second
but
source
it
that
was.
also says 17.
It was.
So
I was in 5th grade. I didn't fuck her. I was just marveling at the fact she had tits, but somebody else was fucking her. Like, she seemed to always gravitate toward the big, fat, bearded redneck type who was like 8 years older. So let's see.
Oh.
That would have been like a 19-year-old she was probably fucking in the 5th grade or something like that. I love white
That's
trash.
just to-
Horrific.
so third resource, 16 and a half it says for girls and 17 for boys.
That makes sense.
That
would.
does.
It makes that makes a ton of sense for it to be less for girls.
Because I think a lot of girls might date a guy a year older, when they lose their virginity.
No, I think and
and
obviously
when they want
all
to do it, it's
if
real
a girl
easy.
wants to lose her virginity, she need only raise her hand. And if a guy wants to lose his virginity, he need only work his ass off and really shine like a star. like it's hard.
Yeah, work his
because
ass off
what
to
he
the
said
point
is
that
true as well. That like the 16-year-old chicks don't want to fuck another 16-year-old. They want some 17, 18-year-old boyfriend. In my high school, there were plenty of chicks in like the senior, junior and senior year who were dating like these dudes my fucking age, like my age currently. Like they were dudes my fucking age, fucking 10th graders. Like when I was in high school, and I think back on that now, I'm just like, what a fucking loser. But even at that time, honestly, I was thinking that mostly because I was just like jealous because it's like this is not fair. My dad gives me all my money. Like if I have money, it's because he slipped it to me when I got out of the car this morning. Meanwhile, this motherfucker's got a career. He's got a career. Like, of course he has a car. He has his own house. He's a grown-ass man. We can't compete with him. He makes his own hours. He's there after school to pick her up in a nice car. Like,
I remember at my high school, and almost every weekend there was a party in some sort of sand parking lot, right? Deep in the woods, along the bay, whatever. And sometimes people who already graduated would come back. And
I hated that.
see, that's a faux pas. See, I hope I'm not interrupting your story, but that is different than what I described. Because what I was describing is like a couple of outliers who weren't even from our class. Like, we didn't know who these people were. Like, these are grown-ups from the real world who just happened to meet this 17, 16-year-old out at the mall somewhere, and they hooked up, and now they're boyfriend, girlfriend. What you described is a much lamer scenario. And when I graduated, I knew in my head, I will never, ever, ever. It's so lame. There was a guy who came on our senior trip. Think about that. There was a guy who came on our senior trip who had graduated like a year or two prior.
he just
and I just
needed
remember,
one
like,
more year of high school.
Yeah. No,
That shouldn't
no,
even be
he's
allowed.
already graduated.
No,
I
but
remember,
he
like,
emotionally, he needed one more year in that
Needed
environment.
closure.
He needed. He just go ahead.
all he wanted to do was party, and he hooked up with like two of the chicks too, which was, I thought, pathetic at the time as well. It was a gross time. They were both making out with this slovenly looking fellow who hooked us up with alcohol. And anyway, I think it's much easier for a young girl to find a partner than it would be for a young man in these.
I had that in high
always
school.
didn't
People
like him.
come in- Sorry.
All right, so I was going to say, like, when the seniors leave, like, they're oftentimes cooler than you, right? It's nice to have them gone. They're supposed to leave the area, and it's your turn to be a senior. Or if you're a junior, there shouldn't be 2 years of people who are bigger and stronger and cooler than you. Like it's supposed to fucking end at some point. And some people, like me, would look at the post-seniors at our party and think, you know, you don't really have it going on. If you did, you'd be at like college parties right now. Instead, you're 19, 20 at a high school party. On the other hand, there were other people, typically the athletes, who were on the team with them, who were like, you know, oh, yeah, Josh, so cool to see you. Right. You know, how you doing this year? I'm good. You on pace to break records? Nah. Like I don't know, whatever conversation they're having, they're close because they were on a team together. And that also gave them, like, almost their old status back. And it was bullshit. I didn't like it.
I never felt like that. We had it even more extreme. There were like a contingent of 5 or 6 people from like probably almost Kyle's age, like 4 or 5 years older than me. Or I guess that is your age, Kyle, who would come back, like I would be in class, junior in high school, and this ass would parade through the door and just start talking to the teacher like, oh, Mrs. Smith, like, oh my God, it's like so crazy to see you. She's like, then she'll talk to him about college, and that it made me so embarrassed for them and sad, just wondering like, how bad is your life right now that you thought, you know, it would brighten my day going back to that place I couldn't wait to leave and talking to a teacher.
Man, I've been back and it's so weird.
Never
like I didn't
back.
want to interact with anybody. It's not that far away.
Yeah.
So like I drive past it and I see the thing and it's just like, when I see changes, it kind of bothers me a little bit. Like they've really reconstructed my high school, and so like lots of the memories that I have, like I can't even picture them now because that stuff's not there. So that's kind of a bummer. But I've never went back and like socialized with any teachers or anything. I think I went back one time because I wanted to buy a welder, and I went back to my welding teacher and was like, you know, I bet you got some cheap welders laying around here, and he hooked me up with a welder. But like I've never been.
You didn't go back to catch up.
Nah.
That's something to do.
I wouldn't. I mean, for one thing, like, I didn't get along too well.
I ended on that note. I love the
That was
wordplay.
the best
Very
shit
nice.
I've ever heard.